Hey, I'm Megan. I have told this story to so many people and all of them freak out at the end because it is one of those endings to a story where you are just not expecting it at all. This is Piper. I love her. It's just one of those endings to a story. You are sitting there and you're like, excuse me? So trust me, stay with this. Like most of my friends that I've told this story to are always like, holy shit. You think something the whole way through and all of a sudden the most unexpected thing happens. This is something I could never make up. Let's just do it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explain how I met this person, and I'm gonna explain, you know, just kind of like give you a general idea of like the type of person he is, and then I'm gonna get straight to just this night where shit goes down. Shit goes down. We're gonna name this guy. We're gonna name him Tim. 2 falls ago, I met this guy on Bumble, but basically people say it's like the fancier Tinder. I was on it and I met this guy named Tim, and we ended up going on like a dinner and a movie date, and yeah, it went really good. I really liked him, but he really liked me. We totally clicked, and so he did have a couple of red flags. One thing that I personally found really weird about him is that he was really definite about time. He would be like, no, like we can't kiss till the 3rd date, which is fine. Like that's like totally respectable. He always said that he would not make anything official with a girl until exactly 3 months. And I'm not just saying like, oh, we started seeing each other in like this date, so you know, in like 3 months from now, like if it feels right, we'll go for it. Like, no, to the day. We started seeing each other in like October, November. He had this date in January or February, like lockdown. Like he knew the day that it would be like, okay, now we can be official. Rather than just like letting things flow, I'm the type of person who likes to let things just flow and happen and make it fine. And for him, I guess that's just not him. I personally found that really weird with how specific he was with everything. Okay, Piper, you have to choose. Are you in the video or not? Okay, I love you. So this one thing that he would do is the biggest red flag for me is he would just cancel last minute really often, like just like all the time. He would just cancel with the stupidest freaking reasons. Like for example, one time he said, oh, I can't see you tonight now because I have to move my mom's couch. I was like, where? He's like, oh, she just has to move it from one end of the room to the other. Like, bitch lived in his mother's basement suite. He had to walk up the stairs, move the couch, and go back downstairs. Like, that's a 15-minute job tops. Like, what? He had to cancel a whole night out of that? So clearly, you and I are both thinking he's got like other girls, or he's got a girlfriend, or a side chick, or a boyfriend, whatever. He's got someone, right? Just wait. Also, he would just disappear for like 15 minutes randomly if we were hanging out. Sometimes he'd just be like, oh, I'll be right back. And like, I just always assumed he was like taking so obviously he's got a girlfriend. He's disappearing on his phone. He's, you know, canceling last minute sometimes. You know, just all these red flags are clearly meaning like, bitch has got a girlfriend or a boyfriend or someone on the side. It's the only logical explanation. Okay, so I always told him that it's totally fine if like he was seeing other girls or something. Like I was totally okay with that. We were never like official. So I wanted him to make sure he could tell me if he was seeing someone else. I personally wasn't seeing anyone else because I did not have time to do that, but he was always very consistent. Like, no, I like to see one girl at a time. I'd rather put my energy into someone I really like, blah, blah, blah. Now let's get to the night where everything went to shit. Oh my god, I'm already laughing. So it was a Friday night. And it was one of the nights here where it was freezing rain. Like there was freezing rain just pouring down, and that's of course really dangerous to drive on because it can become really slippery. I could not drive in freezing rain safely at all. And I also had to cross a bridge that was really, really slippery to begin with just rain. So I had to, of course, you know, message him being like, hey, it's gonna be freezing rain tonight. Do you want me to, like, when do you want me to come over? Because I'm not comfortable driving in the freezing rain at all. And of course, he goes, oh my god, like, I have to cancel tonight anyway. Because, you know, I have to take my brother for a haircut. What? Your brother's nearly 18 years old, and Tim did not drive at the time because Tim could not drive at the time for just like personal reasons for himself. So Tim cannot drive. It is freezing outside. So you're gonna tell me that Tim's gonna walk his 18-year-old brother to go get his haircut? Okay, I'm done. But I was already at a point where I was kind of done with this guy anyway. This was his last chance. I was not feeling it at all anymore. Then in about like 4 hours, he's like, hey baby, can you please come over, please come stay at my house. I thought about it. Like, I have to give him one last chance, or maybe get some answers or something from this guy. This whole situation was just weird. And now, before I tell the rest of the story, I do want to say that I had gone to this guy's house, I don't know, like easily like 15 to 20 times before this time, and like he had always asked me to stay the night every single time. Like he was always like, please stay the night, like I want to like wake up next to you and blah 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 blah. And so every single time I have stayed the night there, and so I kind of just assumed that this time I would be staying the night, especially since it was freezing rain and I didn't feel safe driving home. So bitch wasn't crazy. Bitch wasn't acting like a crazy bitch expecting to just stay at his house. No. This is how it was like so many times before this. I get to his house, it's already starting to freezing rain. As I'm kind of getting close to his house, I get there safely, I park, get into his home, and we decided to watch Moana on this big beanbag chair he had. Like it's as big as my bed, this giant beanbag chair. We would just like cuddle on it all the time. So we were like sitting there, we're cuddling, watching Moana, having a good time. And then he goes, hey, would you like some tea? And I was like, yes, bitch, I would love some tea. So he gets up, pauses the movie, you know, he's like making tea. By the way, I asked for English breakfast and he made me Earl Grey, which is fine, but like it's not fine. He's making tea, stirring stuff in. He goes, oh, so what time are you going home? And I was like, tomorrow? He just stopped stirring the tea. He put it down. It's completely silent. He walks from the kitchen across in front of me without even looking at me in complete silence all the way into his bathroom, goes into his bathroom and shuts the door and stays in there for 15 minutes, completely silent. I do not know what to do with this situation. I'm like, I look outside, it is freezing rain, like there's nowhere for me to go. I don't know anyone who lives nearby. I don't even know of a hotel nearby that I could walk to. I have no means of getting home safely, so I am just laying there on this beanbag chair in complete silence, like trying, like I was laughing, but I was trying to like be quiet. So I was texting my friends like, what do I do? All of a sudden he comes back out, doesn't even look at me, just goes straight back across and goes back to making tea in the kitchen. And it's so awkward because all you can hear is like ting 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 ting. He finally picks up the 2 mug, goes to like the little dining room area he has, puts the cups down on the dining room table, looks me dead in the eye and goes, this is where we drink the tea. I was like, okay, because this is where we drink the tea. So I'm like, okay, like we drank the tea on like the beanbag before, but like That's where we go and drink the tea tonight. Okay. It's still completely silent. And I just start drinking this tea. And me being the person I am, I just couldn't stop. Like, I just burst into laughter. Like, this was just one of the funniest, most awkward moments for me. I felt so unwelcomed. Like, I think most people have been in a situation where they feel like they're like not wanted in like somebody's home, or like hanging out with a group of friends where it's like all of a sudden you feel like you're not invited anymore. It was like that on a different level. So I'm just like sitting there laughing, and he looks at me, and all he does is, I'm like, I'm really sorry. I feel so unwelcome. You obviously don't want me here. You clearly have like a girl you're waiting on, right? Stick with me, people. Somebody is coming over that is not me. I don't want to get in the way of that. Like, I was already done with Tim. Like, I was like, this is too much for me. No more Tim in my life. So I was like, Tim, I don't feel comfortable driving home. I'm going to sleep on your couch, or I can hide in your roommate's room. It's totally cool. Like, I don't mind. But he's like, no, like, it's not that. It's not a girl. Like, no one's coming over. Stop accusing me of these things. So then he gets up and he goes over to his front door and he opens it, like, looks up at the freezing rain, and then looks at me, and looks back at the freezing rain, and looks back at me. I was like, okay, Tim, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. There's nowhere for me to go that's nearby. I feel extremely unsafe driving. Like, what do you want me to do? And he's like, no, I really want you to stay. I was like, really? Because it didn't seem like it, you know? He just goes back to the beanbag chair and starts watching Moana. I didn't really know what to do, so I saw that he had an Ed Hardy coloring book, and I just grabbed that and started coloring in it because I didn't know what to do. So I'm like texting my friends and like coloring at the same time. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just turns to me and he goes, "Cuddles." And I was like, "Cuddles! Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do with you right now." I felt so awkward. Like, what do you do in that moment? I just didn't know what to do. So I go and I cuddle with this guy because his mood is changing from like, don't come over, come over. Oh my gosh, please leave. No, give me cuddles. Like, I just didn't know. I'm just gonna follow these moods that are happening. Then he goes to bed and I was like, I'm just gonna stay awake for a little while longer. I'm just coloring. It's been like, I don't even know how long. I have no idea. And he just wanders out of his bedroom, comes over to me, and starts trying to like undress me. No, like, no, that's not happening. And I like put my shirt back on. I was like, no. So he goes, well, can you just come like sleep in my bed? Like, it feels like I really want you there. I want to wake up like next to you and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know about that, Tim. Like, this is just a really weird situation. So I ended up actually sleeping in his bed because he has a memory foam mattress. Like, don't judge me. Like, I don't have a memory foam mattress. So, you know, I ended up sleeping there. I get out of there this first friggin' thing in the morning before he's even awake. I get all my shit together and I'm out of that house. And as soon as I get home, I text him. I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. This is not gonna work out. Like, last night really put me off, and like, I'm sorry. I think you've clearly got a girl. He's like, I don't have a girlfriend. And he's like, no, like, I don't have a girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, sounds good then. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not gonna work out. And he's like, okay, like, yeah, I understand. Then, on the Wednesday following, this is where you get answers, people. I get a message on Instagram from him, and he's like, hey, I feel like you deserve to know the truth. And I was like, yes, now we get to find out who she is or who he is or what is happening. Like, Who are you dating? How many of them are there? Let's get this going. He goes, he says to me, he goes, I have to masturbate 6 to 12 times a day. What? Like, what? So every time he was gone for a random 15 minutes, like that night where he stopped making the tea and just went away for 15 minutes, he was masturbating. And then, like, anytime he had to cancel on me last minute, it's because he realized it would mess up his schedule for his masturbation. His schedule was in the morning, like in the shower, then he does it at work, and then he comes home and does it, goes to the gym, and then does it when he gets home from the gym, you know, eats, does it again, spends another time, and then right before he falls asleep. So a minimum of 6 times a day. Now, before I continue, no hate to him for this, like this is clearly some kind of addiction or something, and if this is something that you can kind of relate to, I suggest that you seek some kind of help, because anytime that anything starts to take over your life like this in such a negative like way is something that you need to work on. No hate to him, like this isn't like shaming him in any way, this is just unbelievable. He didn't have a side chick, he didn't have 1,000 girlfriends, he didn't have a boyfriend, he didn't have nothing but his dick. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. Please click like and subscribe, because I am actually going to be posting more crazy stories. I have so many stories, I was gonna say like this one, but you know, crazy stories, random things that have happened to me or happened with me there, and I just, trust me, you're going to want to hear more. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please click like and subscribe and click the little ringing bell thingy. And yeah, bye!